Have you ever looked at someone and just wondered, how did they do that? How did they face something totally devastating and not just survive, but come out the other side transformed? That's what we're digging into today. We're looking at the blueprint, the real mechanics of how adversity can actually be the launch pad for incredible change. I mean, what is it about these stories that just grabs us? It's that classic caterpillar to butterfly thing, right? We all go through stuff. We all have our own struggles. So when we see somebody else not just get through it, but actually become stronger, more vibrant, more themselves, it's like, wow. It gives you this jolt of hope. It makes you think, hey, maybe there's a pattern here, a blueprint that actually works. Okay, so this isn't just gonna be us telling a bunch of feel-good stories. Nope. We're actually gonna pop the hood here, we're gonna deconstruct this, look at the moving parts, and really understand the anatomy of transformation. And it all kicks off with one single, really powerful question. Yeah, this one right here. This question is the absolute spark. Think about it. It's that moment, that pivot point where you stop being just a character in a story that life is writing for you, and you decide, no, I'm picking up the pen. I'm the author now. And that decision, that brings us right to our first big idea, taking back the narrative. This is the game changer. It's that conscious shift from just, accepting whatever comes your way to actively reshaping your reality. This is the moment you decide to be the hero of your own story, not a bystander. So what's the tool you use to do that? It's this thing called self-advocacy. And look, it's way more than just speaking up for yourself. It's about taking total control of your health, of your identity, of your entire story. A perfect example of this in action, let's talk about Marcella Hill's journey. So Marcella was dealing with these really serious health issues, and she felt completely alone in it, just isolated. But then came the turning point. It was this one moment where she just decided, you know what? I'm not just gonna endure this pain. That switch from passive acceptance to active searching, that's what changed everything. It led her to do her own research, to fight for her own health, and in the end, she didn't just get better. She reclaimed her entire sense of vitality. Now, taking back the narrative isn't just an internal thing. It's also about shattering the boxes other people try to put you in. And nobody does this better than the actor and activist Adam Pearson. Society might look at him and see limitations because of his disability, but he creates his own reality. An accomplished actor in huge movies, a fierce disability rights activist, a creative artist. I mean, he basically looks at the box society built for him and says, nope. He's not just living outside it, he's rewriting the entire script on what representation even means. So what happens when you start rewriting your own story? Well, something amazing. It starts to affect other people. See, transformation is almost never a solo mission. The most powerful journeys are the ones that start to radiate outward, turning one person's change into a force for the entire community. It really is like a single spark that starts a wildfire. Just one person's courage, one person deciding to tell a different story can be the thing that ignites a whole movement. It's incredible. You set out to change your own life, and you might accidentally end up changing thousands of others. And this is exactly what Marcella Hill did. She knew firsthand how isolating her struggle was, and she realized, wait, I can't be the only one. So she turned her own personal battle into a public mission. She created Wake Her Up, this amazing platform that connects women, fights all the misinformation out there, and gives them the tools and community to take control of their own health. She built what she needed, and in doing so, built it for everyone. Adam Pearson's impact works in this really cool, powerful cycle. It's not just one thing. He uses his acting to get a bigger platform. Then he uses that platform to amplify his activism, like with his documentaries. And then he channels all of that experience and passion into his art and design to challenge how we see things. You see how it works? Each piece, the acting, the activism, the art, it all fuels the others, creating this massive ripple effect for inclusivity. Okay, so we've got people rewriting their stories and building communities. That's huge. But what about when things get really, really tough? What's the fuel that keeps them going through the darkest parts of the fight? Well, that brings us to our third big idea, the unstoppable internal engine of ambition. Before they were household names, so many of these icons faced what looked like absolute failure. J.K. Rowling, 12 publishers told her no. Steve Jobs got kicked out of his own company. Elon Musk had rockets literally blowing up. The common thread here isn't that they failed. Everybody fails. It's that they absolutely refuse to let that be the end of the story. And you can see the pattern so clearly here, can't you? For every single one of them, the setback wasn't the final chapter. It was the plot twist. It was the setup for the comeback. They didn't just bounce back from failure. They harnessed it. They used it as fuel and turned these moments that would have ended most careers into the very foundation of their legendary success. Steve Jobs absolutely nailed it with this one. This quote gets to the heart of that fuel we're talking about. It's not just about grinding it out, it's about a deep, powerful love for what you're doing. And believe it or not, these exact words were the direct inspiration for the next story of incredible perseverance we're going to look at. So let me tell you about Mid Asif Ryan. This man was so fueled by his love for engineering that he made the unbelievable sacrifice of leaving his young sons behind in another country just to pursue his PhD. And along the way, he faced enormous emotional strain, even serious health problems. But his passion, that deep belief that his work could actually build a better world, that was the engine. It drove him day and night through everything until he finally succeeded. It's a perfect testament to that powerful ambition we're talking about. All right, so we've walked through these incredible, powerful journeys. But what's the takeaway for us right now? Let's boil all this down. Let's synthesize these big ideas into a simple but really powerful framework. A blueprint you can use to build your own resilience. Okay, here it is. The blueprint for resilience, distilled from all these stories. Number 1, take control of the narrative. Be the author of your own story. Number 2, turn your personal struggle into service. Let your journey help others. And number 3, harness the engine of ambition. Use your passion as the fuel to get through anything. And the most important part, these aren't just inspirational quotes. They are real, actionable principles you can actually use. And that really brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important question of all. We've seen the blueprint. We've watched how people like Marcella and Adam and Mid Asif Ryan picked up the pen and authored their own comeback. So now, the only question left is for you. What's the first sentence of your next chapter going to be?